It gives me a great pleasure to take this wonderful opportunity and salute you all. I'm here before you to present about gender. Gender is referred to the social constructed characteristics of women and men, which are norms, rules, as well as relationships between groups of women and men. It varies society to society. It can be changed. In many societies, men are increasingly taking the roles traditionally seen as belonging to women, and women are playing a part of previously assigned mostly to men. Historically, people they use term sex as gender have been used interchangeably. We assign a newborn sex, either male or female, as based on their genetics. Some of countries offer the third identification option of intersex people. Once a sex is assigned, we presume that child's gender. Some born with a penis will be a boy, and some born with a vulva will be a girl. For many people, this is the cause of little, if any, concerns or further thought. Therefore, it is very important, or it is very crucial to understand the difference between the two, between gender and sex. The sex is generally referred to the biological difference. The difference between female and male sexes are anatomical and physiological. Sex tends to relate to the biological difference. For instance, male and female genetics, both internal and external differences. Similarly, its level and the types of hormones present in men's and females' bodies are different. Therefore, I would like to convey this presentation to my fellow partner to resume. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Tebokotwala and I'm here to discuss how sociologists view gender. Here we have a picture that depicts photos that are in line with our presentation and our topic for the presentation. This is an emblem that is assigned with gender, and here in the middle of our collage we have a picture that depicts two forms of gender, which is male and female. So in sociology we make a distinction between sex and gender. Sex are the biological traits that society is used to assign people into the category of either male or female, whether it is through a focus of chromosomes, genitalia, or some other physical assumptions. When people talk about the differences between men and women, they are often drawing on sex, on rigid ideas of biology rather than gender, which is an understanding of how society shapes our understanding on those biological categories. The sociological of gender examines how society influences our understandings and perception of differences between masculinity when society deems appropriate behavior for a man, or femininity which society deems appropriate behavior for women. So we examine how this in turn influences identity and social practices. So we pay special focus on the power relationships that follow from the established gender order in given society, as well as how this changes over time in the societies that we live in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, fellow. I think if we really want to consider this view of theories based on sociology of gender, we must bear this in mind. If gender socialization was as powerful as the model sometimes implies, then we would be much more similar. Also, social expectations are not always clear, and even if they are, not all women follow them in the same way. There are different ways of dressing, sitting, even speaking amongst women. And people think differently about what it means to be feminine. This does not imply that everyone is different. Right. Socialization theories tend to imply that people who do not conform are in the same sense failure. The implication here is that these are not their own way of thinking, talking about women. They have been brainwashed by the society. Dominant structures and meanings will gender their lives, and that will mean following gender convention in fairly predictable, likely to perpetuate class and gender inequality. Let's just take a view based on this theory. They view gender division of labor as important and necessary for the smooth function of the modern society. Furthermore, this perspective suggests that our socialization into prescribed role derives gender inequality by encouraging men and women to make different choices about their families and work. These theories see wage inequalities as the result of choice women make, assuming they choose family roles that compete with their work roles, which renders them less valuable employees from the managerial standpoint. Moreover, we must bear in mind that some of these things based on gender happened in the past, and we mustn't expect it to also happen or occur in our current lifetime. Since the generation we are having right now is way more different from the other or the past generation, then according to my own personal view, I think that these theories can be challenged more due to the change and continuity of time we experience in our wonderful world. For example, this says that she will need to know her place, and this one, he better not cry, which means this woman must know his role and man must know his role. For example, no, I think I must end here.
Hi everyone, going to talk about the functionalist perspective on gender. Functionalist perspective sees society as a complex system whose party works together to promote solidarity and stability. This approach looks at society through a macro level orientation and probably focus on the social structure that shape whole society. This theory suggests that gender inequality exists as an efficient way to create a division of labor, or as a social system in which a segment of the population clearly responsible for certain acts of labor and other segments is clearly responsible for other labor acts. The feminist movement takes the position that functionalists neglect the separation of women within the family structure. As we all know that in most of the families, women are required to support their husbands while their husbands are busy with their contributory tasks. So the women are expected to stay at home and do household work. As you can see in this picture, and also on this one, this just shows that the men are the ones who are more powerful than women. Thanks.
Hello everyone. I'm here to critique the functionalist view on gender equality. This view has been criticized for reflecting gender roles, while gender roles according to the functionalist perspective are beneficial in that they continue to stable social relations, many argue that gender and roles are discriminatory and should not be upheld. The feminist movement, which was on the rise at the same time as the functionalists began to decline, takes the position that functionalists neglect the suppression of women within the feminist structure. Conflict theories consist of two groups, of which is the Marxist and the feminist. They point out that functionalists have a rose-tinted view of society. They focus too much on the perspective, on the perspective that is positive functions that institutions perform, ignoring the negative ways in which institutions and socialization can have on certain people. Feminists, for example, argue that traditional nuclear family, which is seen as necessary by persons, oppresses women as they are expected to fulfill the housewife role, which ultimately makes women benefiting men who benefit from women, emotional and domestic labor. They also ignore the reality dark side of the family life, domestic violence. However, functionalists will still argue that most people are better off with clear boundaries, provided socialization through institutions, as this prevents anonymity, which could still be regarded as a curse of modern societies. Interactions are people, a group of people that criticize the view of functionalists or that is based on gender equality. Interactionists criticize functionalism for being a deterministic theory. Human behavior is portrayed as being shaped by the social systems, as if individuals are programmed by social institutions, being the puppets of the social forces. There is a considerable amount of evidence against this view. For example, despite most people being socialized into traditional gender norms, many people today develop LGBTI community identities, despite being socialized to obey the law. Self-report studies show high levels of minor community that is based on criminality. It is as if people are just pretending to obey social norms. But when you dig deeper and look at things more qualitatively, behind closed doors, this isn't necessarily the case, and everyone's doing their own thing. Furthermore, I would like to show you this picture. In this picture, we can see that as I am criticizing the functionalist view, personally, I think it is wrong for a woman to function domestic work, take care of the baby, clean the house, cook. When the husband comes back home, they only eat, put their clothes down, and go to their rooms and relax. So it is very wrong for the functionalist view to portray women as domestic workers. They also deserve to be empowered in the community, and it is our duty as the community to empower women equally. I thank you.
I then humble myself and greet you all. I hereby to use this platform to express the views of the conflict theorists on gender. Let me just not waste any further waste of time. In the context of gender, conflict theorist argues that gender is best understood as men attempting to maintain power and privilege to disadvantage women. Okay, let us look on our collage. We have a picture here which demonstrates that men are the only one who uses or who have a weight in the family, or who are the one who make important decisions in the family, and women do not have any weight. So this highly shows that men are the one who uses power against women. Okay, in continuation, therefore men can be seen as the dominant group and women as the subordinate group. This basically brings us to the fact that gender inequality exists because it benefits men who uses their power to maintain or to ensure the continuation. By lowering women to stay at home, men have been able to deny women those resources that can make them access in the larger world. Okay, let us look on this picture. This picture we see a woman taking care of her child. So this basically means she stays at home and look after everything, do all home chores, and while the father is out to work. So this basically means that men are using their powers to do everything in the family, while women are stay at home. So in that way, they are limited to the resources that can make them shine in the larger world or gain more skills to express themselves or expose their skills in the world. So, according to conflict theories, social problems are created when dominant group exploit or oppress subordinate group. Therefore, their approach is nominative in that it prescribes change to power and structure, advocate a balance of power between gender. According to conflict theorists, in most cultures, men have been historically held of the world's resources, which makes women entirely dependent on men. So this is basically obvious. According to my own experience, or reflecting on my own experience, I grew up at home. My mother was just staying at home, and father was the one who is the breadwinner. As we can see on this picture, the man is ready to go to work, while women will be at home and look after the family. So this is what basically tells us. Conflict theorists view that females and males will not be equal, since males are the ones who have power against women. Thank you.
Hello to everybody, and I'm Sanele Mlangeni. I'm here to critique the views of conflict theories based on gender. Looking at this picture here, it's actually showing that men and women are both born from the same planet, the same rock. We started out from the scratch, the same species. Therefore, we started out equally. Even though we started equally, opinions and inequality formed throughout early history, as one sex of the same species was chosen to forever represent the softer, weaker, gentler side to our race. In another view, men and women's jobs are equally important, as without warrior, where would be the safety? And without the mother, where would be the warrior? Without either of the carefully crafted sexes, the perfectly crafted system would fall apart. So therefore, men and women are equally, only just now are women changing their role, and they had crafted for themselves at the beginning of our race. Looking at this picture here, men and women have proven that they can therefore most part complete the same task and take on the same responsibilities. There are sexist people who do not stand by this, but I know this is true and everyone should realize it. Women can work on construction sites, they can be judges, lawyers, while men can stay at home and be nannies. Some of them can even be chefs. Look at this picture here. This is my last picture actually. Just because people's traditions since the old times were that men are more superior doesn't mean we need to keep that going or we need to keep it like that. We are all human beings, and when did the idea start of men being more superior start? We both have roles in life, therefore all the roles are equal.
Our presentation based on gender have been used interchangeably. We assign a newborn as sexy, either male or female, based on their genetics. Some countries offer a birth identification option for intersex. For intersex people, once a sex is assigned a physical child gender, someone born with a penis will be a boy, and someone with a vulva will be a girl. For many people, this calls for a little if any content or further thought, therefore, is a very crucially understanding the differences between the two. In the most of our argument, then my fellow colleagues have made, females are portrayed as the one who are inferior, and that is not true. Being a male or female shall not limit you into a doing or being whatever you want in life. We are equal.